Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Today's session is on fruits and diabetes. Welcome you all to it. And I'm Harshita. I'm a health coach as well as diabetes expert. I would like to wish you all a happy Ugadi and a Gudi Padwa. So we'll wait a couple of minutes to for everybody to join. All right, so let's start with the session. So, as I introduced, I'm Harshita, a health coach and a diabetes expert from Sugarfit. So, very happy that you all joined the session today. I will be talking about one of the most misunderstood topic as well as a very interesting topic. In fact, it is about fruits and diabetes. So everybody, all my clients, most of the clients have counseled, most of my diabetic clients ask me, can I eat fruit? That is one of the most common questions I've been asked upon. So definitely, why fruits is always a misunderstood topic, and if you eat fruits, there are many problems coming your way. So but what exactly is the right answer for this? So the right answer for this question is yes, you can in fact eat fruits because it is good and it is very nutritious. But let's understand why fruits are considered as bad, or are considered as not not healthy for a diabetic person. That is because of its sweetness, or it has a fruit sugar called fructose. Fructose is always considered as a bad sugar because it is misconstrued, telling that it increases weight, it increases triglyceride levels, it increases blood sugar levels, which none of them are not true. Only when fructose, which is taken in higher quantity, only is then when you can see a high increase in triglycerides or sugar levels or any of those. So that's how it is. So if whatever you eat in the fruits is very minute quantity of fructose, you are in fact getting. So what you should do, you should just control the portions of the fruit, which I'll be taking up later. So the amount of fruits you eat is more, you should balance that out. So, and one more thing, even if you end up eating like 300 grams or 400 grams of fruits, you won't increase your fructose to a point where it increases your sugar levels or weight gain or any of those. So, and one more added benefit is it has fiber and antioxidants. It has fiber as well as antioxidants, which is very importantly present, which helps in reducing the intake of sugars into the body. The absorption of sugars into the body is reduced, and even it has antioxidants, which is very beneficial and very nutritious for any individual, even a diabetic individual. So always remember that you can consume fruits. There is nobody stopping you. And if they tell no, that is the wrong fact. So let's go to the myths. There are many number of umpty number of myths around timings, around how to eat them. Definitely, I'm going to share the fact one by one. All right. So so the first myth I would like to share is fruit juice or fruit whole better? This is a very common myth which I come across, which I counsel for. So fruit juices, why, what is the myth in fact? So fruit juices, they tell if you juice out the fruit, the nutrient absorption is much more better, and also you have good amount of antioxidants increased, and it helps in immunity, as well as it helps in reducing the cancer risks. But in fact, all these qualities are present in the whole fruit itself. So you don't need to juice out the fruit to get a nutrient better absorption. So that actually in fact is not a right thing. So the fact is whole fruits are the best. So whole fruits are the best because it is very importantly known that when you juice out the fruit, the fiber in the fruit, I told you there is a very good dietary fiber which helps in digestion. That fiber is intact. If you juice the fruit, or even if you don't add sugar to it, if you just juice the fruit, the fructose in the fruit gets freed, so that it can better absorb. All right, so that's why you shouldn't juice out the fruit. You should eat the fruit as it is. It's a very important fact. All right, so that's about the first myth. And the second myth is, yeah, should you consume fruits in empty stomach? So most of them ask me whether I know the first thing in the morning should I eat fruits, because if I eat fruits later in the day, I might get indigestion or something like that. People tell me that I might get indigestion. There is nothing like that. Actually, if you eat fruits, you can eat fruits any time of the day. In fact, you shouldn't be eating it in the morning as well. So fruits can be taken anytime. So fact is, this indigestion, what people are telling is all because they have certain other issues with them, like them, some people might have gastric issues, acidity, reflux, but they in turn believe that fruits is the causative factor of it, which is not true. So fruits can be taken actually at any time, and it doesn't cause indigestion. It actually in fact causes a positive effect, in fact. All right, so it causes a positive effect. It causes a positive effect, which is the fiber present in the fruit actually slows down the digestion, as well as it increases the nutrient absorption. Whatever you take, whatever food you're taking, the nutrients in that is better absorbed because of the dietary fiber present in this. All right. So, and let's go to the next myth. Okay. So the next myth is the most optimum time of eating fruit is 6 hours after you wake up. So that in fact is the myth. Why it is told that way is because certain people think that when you early in the morning your metabolism is good, but later in the day, as the day goes by, your metabolism drops, which is not true. And then they tell if you eat something high carbohydrate or high in sugars, that time your digestive system gets reactivated. There is no such thing as activation and deactivation of reactivation of digestive system. Whatever you eat at any point of time is going to get digested. So you don't need a high carbohydrate or a sugar rich fruit to definitely reactivate your digestive system or increase your metabolism. There is nothing as such. So it is highly misconstrued that you should eat fruits only after 6 hours. So this is one of the other myths which I came across, which I would like to present. So, and then one of the major things, what is the difference between a fresh fruit and a dried fruit? So the fresh fruit is the same. It just gets dried. Only the water content in it is removed. That is what is the difference. But that's not the only difference. So when you're drying the fresh fruit, there are some heat sensitive vitamins like vitamin C and B vitamins which get lost, or which is not it can't make it to the dried fruits. So So this is lost in fact. So that is the fact. So whenever you're eating fresh fruit, you get an added benefit of vitamin C or B vitamins, which is lost when you eat in terms of dried fruit. And one more thing is the natural sugars in a dried fruit is always in an increased quantity because the water is removed. So whatever fructose or the sugar, natural sugar which is left, is there present in the dried fruits. All right. So when you're eating dried fruits of the same fruits, you should be careful to control your portions. Otherwise, you might end up eating more of natural sugars, which in fact spikes your sugar. All right. So the next, yes, I just want to break up a little bit here, and any doubts, any questions you want me to ask, definitely it's the right time. All right. So I just want has Okay, let's start answering the question. My diabetologist suggested for eating fruits and dried, not for not eating fruits and dried fruits. So there's nothing like that. It depends on your HbA1c levels. If your HbA1c is more than 10, probably that's when the doctor tells not to eat fruits. But even in that time, you can actually eat more of these citrus fruits, which actually have a low GI, which I will cover up in the future future slides. So but it's very misunderstood thing that you shouldn't eat fruits are always an integral part of the diet. All right, so you can go ahead and eat fruits, but if your HbA1c is a little high, more than 10 or so, I would ask you to restrict on dried fruits, which has I explained just before, that dried fruits have more of this natural sugar. All right, so that's why it's better you avoid it for certain time, not for lifelong, until your HbA1cs get controlled. All right, so that is the answer for question 1. Question 2, can a diabetic consume mango? Yeah, that is the hot question, so which I'm going to cover up in the end of this presentation. So I think you will have the answer by then. All right, so any next question? Yeah. Question third, 3, is walnuts and almonds okay to have? Yes, walnuts, there is a bit confusion here. Dried fruits is very different than nuts and seeds. Walnut and almond is nuts and seeds. It belongs to nuts and seeds category. But all these raisins, anjeer, dates, all these belong to dried fruit category. So walnuts and almonds are okay. There is no issues with them. So these nuts and seeds family, we don't have an issue. Nuts and seeds like almonds, walnuts, etc. are nuts and seeds. So we can have them. Yeah. So that's the case. Any other questions? Anybody else? All right. So I would okay, next question came in. So my HbA1c is 10. Can I have banana? Yes, banana is, in fact, actually, you shouldn't be having if your HbA1c is 10, because, it actually spikes up the sugar. But if you really want to go ahead and have once in a while, like once in a week is totally fine, not on a regular basis. That is very important. And definitely you take the about to ripe banana, like when it's pale yellow and about to ripe, that is when it's best, because the fibers are still intact and it's not converted into sugar. So best time to eat it is when it's pale yellow and it's about to ripe. So weekly once, it's okay. All right. So the next question, best time for having dried fruits. Dried fruits, the best time is before you go for a workout or something like that. So before you go for a walk, before your physical activity, because dried fruits have natural sugars. That's the reason it causes a spike in the blood sugars. So whenever you eat dried fruits, you need to go for walking or do any physical activity so that the spike reduces there. All right. So the next question is, my HbA1c is 7 to 8. Can I have banana? Bananas are okay if your HbA1c is low. Again, you should make sure that you eat only, like for a person who's more than 10, I ask him to just eat weekly once. For a person's HbA1c who's 7 to 8, I would in fact suggest only weekly once or twice, not more than that. Twice would be the maximum. And there are other fruits as well. So banana is not the only fruit you should lean upon, because banana just gives one type of nutrient. So that's the case. All right. So rotate your fruits, like have apple, have a guava, have pomegranates, anything available. Just make banana once or twice a week thing. All right. So and then the next question is, if I follow intermittent fasting, when should the fruit be consumed? So when you're following intermittent fasting, it's better to take it in between the two meals. Like intermittent fasting, if you're following 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating window period, I suggest you to take between the meals. So start of suppose you're following 9 to 5 intermittent fasting, so at 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you can have your two meals, and in between you can have a fruit salad which contains 2 to 3 different types of fruits. But mind you that you have a good amount of citrus fruits also in it, and at least 1 or 2 tablespoons of nuts mixed with it, so that your sugar spike doesn't happen. All right. So that is what is my suggestion. All right. So that is the case, and we will be taking another Q&A after a few more minutes, after I complete a few amount of slides. Before going to the next slide, I would like to introduce to you a very awaited, pack which we are starting in Sugarfit. So I will be revealing it at the end of, at the Q&A session, at the next Q&A session. So just be awaited for it. All right. So let's go to the next slide. All right. So the next myth is that if you have diabetes, you should eat fruits. You should eat fruits 1 or 2 hours before or after the meal. This is again, this is a myth. Why? Because people think whatever digestive issue they have is because of these fruits. There is nothing like that. You can eat fruits at any time, as I told you. So you can eat fruits before or after as well. There is no requirement of you maintaining 2 to 3 hours or anything like that. But one thing I suggest, as I told you, fruits have a little bit of fructose or natural sugar. You need to mix it along with a nut and a seed. At least start with 2 teaspoons of any nuts or seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, or anything as such. All right. So you need to mix it along and have, so that the sugars don't spike a lot. All right. So that is one thing that would be the best thing to do, in fact. All right. So the next thing is, you shouldn't be eating fruits before sleeping. That is one more fact in a diabetic person, that they think, when you eat fruits in the night, you will gain weight, or you will because when you eat fruit, you just eat and sleep. So you might all that might convert into fat, and you might gain weight, and then your sugar levels might increase. So that is actually not true. All right. So because when you eat fruits, when you eat fruits, they are very less calorie. Probably it might be lower than 100 calories, so it never causes any weight gain. And in fact, to be more frank, the sugar levels dip in certain cases in the night. So when you take fruits along with nuts and seeds, like one fruit, I'm not asking you to take much of the fruits, like one fruit in the night along with nuts and seeds, you might even see that the dip which is happening in the night has, because of the hormonal effect, it actually gets maintained, because the nuts and fruits combination actually sustainably releases sugar during the night. So in fact, it is good to have fruits in night, but if definitely talk to your healthcare professional about it to get more suggestions, because it's not recommended for everybody at every different conditions, because there will be other medical conditions as well. In fact, for diabetes, it is okay to have one fruit along with a few pieces of seeds and nuts and seeds in the night. All right. So that is one of the fact I wanted to share. And the next thing is, in fact, going before to this, I hope I solved the question of when to eat fruits. Fruits can be eaten at any point of time. There is no issues. You just need to mix it up with a little bit of nuts and seeds, add it into the fruit or salad, and just eat it. And good combination of 2 to 3 fruits is very beneficial. All right. So so the next thing I want to tell is, now we know when to eat fruits. Now I want to know what quality what is the quality of fruits, because you're telling me fruits have sugar. So how do I know which one to pick, which one to choose? So that, for that we have something called GI, glycemic index. Glycemic index is a barometer which helps in understanding how much the sugar levels increase when you intake anything. Like when you suppose you intake a banana, why do we call banana or mango as high sugar fruits? Because of something called GI, or glycemic index. When you take fruits, what happens is your sugar levels kind of increase because of the sugars when it gets absorbed into the body. All right, so there are categories in fact set, like 10 to 40 is a low GI category, 40 to 70 is a medium GI category, which we ask all our clients to have on a lesser side. 70 to 100 is a very high GI category, which is in certain cases are not supposed to be taken. All right. So, and apart from that, this is actually glycemic index is one of the old concepts. So we have one more upgraded and a very useful tool. In fact, it is called glycemic load. Glycemic load is what helps in maintaining it's a very more useful tool. Why? Because you will be able to pair up how much carbohydrates is there in your meal as well. Like suppose if you're taking certain fruit, all right, if you're taking certain fruit like banana example, so how much of carbohydrate is there in 100 gram of banana is also taken along with it. All right, so GL, glycemic load, is a more useful tool actually than GI, but we even though consider even glycemic index as well. All right, so based on this, I have my next slide, which I wanted to present low GI fruits and which are the fruits to avoid in fact. So the low GI fruits are cherries. Many people think cherries are not good enough, but cherries have a very low GI score of 20. And grapefruit, in fact, is also very good with 25. Dried apricots is 32. Pears is 38. Apple is 39. So all these which are below 55, in fact, which I told before, below 55 or it is very good enough. And oranges, plums, strawberries, peaches, grapes are very good low GI fruits which you can introduce or add it in your diet. All right, fruits which should be avoided are watermelon. Watermelon also, why? Because people think it's more watery and it's better to eat it, and it's better for summer, but that's not the case. Watermelon has more of water. In fact, that water also contains fructose, which is sugar. So that's the reason you should take very small quantities of watermelon. Same as well as like same goes with papaya or cantaloupe. So all these are supposed to be taken in very small quantities. And even papaya in fact also is known as very good fruit for diabetes, but it has high GI scores, so it should be taken in controlled portion. But definitely all this depends on you have to talk with your healthcare professional and then get back on this. All right, so I would like to talk about few other fruits which in fact have a very good benefit for diabetes. Guava is very helpful and it keeps you full and it helps in weight loss. And orange in fact has low fat and has low glycemic index, so it's very ideal to take oranges on a daily basis. Lemon as well also regulates the blood sugar, so it's very important to involve lemon more, like right after your cooking or in fact on your salads or something, do involve lemon. It's not just about vitamin C, it's about it has components which help in reducing the sugar as well. Same goes for kiwi as well. Kiwi also helps, has good amount of fiber and reduces the sugar levels much. Apricots are vitamin A rich, which in fact has rich fiber and helps in reducing the sugar levels or the spikes. Apple, in fact, also is very good for diabetes, but just people, sometimes it's told that it causes high sugar, but that's not the case. Apple can be a good go for diabetes. You can even have 1 to 2 pieces, in fact, together. So these are one of the major fruits which you should focus on so that you can help in reducing your sugar levels. All right. So the next thing is how much portions can I have? So the quality I know right now, when to have I know right now, but how much quantity should I have? How much portion? And what is one portion? People tell you have to have this many portions, this many portions. How much portion you should have? So one portion is, in fact, you don't need to have a weighing scale or something like that. It's very roughly, you can take just the palm, just a palm. Your palm size is one portion. How much of a fruit fits in your palm is one portion. Now you might ask me, there are different sizes of fruits and vegetable fruits. So how do I go about with it? So first of all, you need to take only 3 to 4 portions per day, and that portions needs to be regulated well, and it should be based on your sugar levels. So definitely talk with to your healthcare professional and understand how many portions is suited for you. This is just a generalized output that 3 to 4 portions can be taken. It's not for everybody, in fact. All right. So let's come to the small size, medium size, and large size fruits. Small size fresh fruits like kiwi or apricots or strawberries, how much ever fits in your palm, that many you can consider has one portion roughly. And medium sized fruits like apple, orange, sweet lime, one piece of that fruit is considered has one portion. And large fruits, the 5 centimeter slice like melons or pineapples or mangoes, it's just one slice. 5 centimeter slice is considered as one portion. All right. So whenever you keep the next time try to have a fruit, just see how much portion you're actually having. And before that, get a proper portion cut control from your healthcare professional for your sugar levels. How much portion can you have? All right. So yeah, so I just want to ask any questions are there, or anything is there, so that before I move on to the next slide. Okay. So the next question is, which fresh fruits HbA1c 9. Okay, the client has HbA1c 9. So which fruits should I avoid? So with HbA1c 9, you majorly have to have the low GI fruits, in fact. So before it moves on to 10, probably you can have just guava or apples or citrus fruits. Those kind of fruits are very much you can have, and definitely probably you can have 1 or 2 times in a day, 2 portions or 3 portions per day of citrus fruits or of low GI fruits, which I mentioned. All right. And then the next question is, can we have papaya, watermelon, and jamun fruit, as well as guava and pomegranate? All right. Papaya, as I explained, papaya and watermelon, it depends on your HbA1c, and you need to have a controlled portion, probably one slice or two slice in one sitting per day. All right. Jamun is in fact a very good fruit, and it also it also portrays that it has anti-diabetic properties. So jamun fruit also can be had, but nothing should be overeaten. Something like 5 to 10 pieces probably you can have in one sitting, and that too it's very dependent on your sugar levels. All right. And then guava and pomegranate, in fact, yes, you can have guava and pomegranate. There is no issues with them. All right. And next question is, instead of sugars, can we replace with jaggery? Sugars and jaggery are the same, but just the method of cooking is very different. Even there are, sugar as well as jaggery are obtained from sugar cane itself. Only thing is the method of cooking is varying. So that's the reason it doesn't make much of a difference. Even though you tell me that you have palm jaggery, which is made of from palm, so there would be no difference. It's still not ideal for a diabetic client. All right. So it would be good if you replace your sugars with fruits. It's more of a natural sugar. All right. Which fresh fruit for HbA1c 9 should I avoid? Yeah, I guess I have dealt with that question earlier. In pre-diabetic with HbA1c of 5.9, can I have banana daily or dry fruits with limited quantity? So definitely you are on a verge of, you are on a verge of moving to diabetes. So I would in fact ask you not, probably dried fruits can be reduced. I'm not asking you to stop, but you can reduce it, limited to weekly once or twice probably. And banana can be had 2 to 3 times at least, okay, per week. but not on a daily basis. That's what, as I answered the previous session questions also, you need to rotate your fruits. Banana on daily basis is not recommended. Even if you're a client who has hypertension or BP and your doctor tells good have banana, it helps in reducing your BP levels. You can have many other fruits in fact as well, which has good amount of potassium. So try rotating your fruit. Just don't take banana on a daily basis. Have apple, as I mentioned earlier as well. Try rotating your fruits. And dry fruits, yes, you can go ahead with them. Definitely weekly, twice or thrice would be the best. All right. So, what foods to make you sleep better? So, in fact, fruits don't. I mean, fruits. You need something called melatonin included in your diet before as a bedtime snack. So, melatonin is more present in pistas and almonds. All right. So, you want to have pista and almonds along with the fruit in the night, or even if you don't have a fruit, it's okay. It improves your sleep, and this is going to increase over the period of time. The sleep improvement is going to happen over a time period of time. So even you can have chamomile tea if you're stressed or if you're anxious about anything, it will calm you down. So you can try with almonds or pistas. Better I would ask you to go for unsalted pistas, and as well as chamomile tea. It is all these three things help in making your sleep into a better place. And definitely do try yoga nidra. Breathing practices definitely help you in getting a better sleep. All right. What about jackfruit? Okay, jackfruit, even that is one of the fruits which is coming in summer. So even jackfruits are considered as high GI fruits. So if you're eating jackfruits, probably restrict it to 5 pieces. Again, talk to your healthcare professional whether that is okay to even start having jackfruit. All right. And in pre-diabetics with HbA1c, okay, this I have answered already. All right. Can I have mango and banana? As I told you, it depends on your sugar levels. Mango and banana, if you're a pre-diabetic, it's still okay to include. And if you're a diabetic, I guess mango is still fine, but let me keep it for a little later. I will answer many more mango questions a little bit later. All right. So, yeah, so before, as I told you in in the last Q&A session, that I would be revealing a new product of ours. So this is a product. It's a 3-month Kickstarter pack, which is a Kickstarter diabetic reversal pack, which is being introduced. This pack was not there before. It's been introduced of new. And if there is any questions about it, definitely you can drop it there. So my colleague will be sharing the link. You can even fill the Google form to get in more details on that. All right. So let's move on to the next part of it. So the much awaited mango and diabetes. So this topic is, again, as we are in fact in summer and we are awaiting for much, more of mangoes to come. Definitely, this is a much awaited question and must be answered question as well. So that so let's go. People have been asking me, can I eat mangoes? If I'm a pre-diabetic, can I eat mangoes? I'm a diabetic, can I eat mangoes? So mangoes can be eaten. It's not that it shouldn't be eaten, but only thing is, even mangoes have very good qualities in them. So, but let's see how these good qualities are. So mango, in fact, has only 17 grams of carbohydrate per 100 grams, and it just gives 65 calories. It's just not about that. Mangoes are rich in vitamin A, beta carotene, zinc, copper, and vitamin B6, folates. It's very good in many B vitamins as well as copper. So it's a very good and nutritious fruit. And one more thing, as I've already shown on the screen, the GI is just 51. It's not even, it's in the low GI range. Some claims have been done that even it is 56. So just 51 to 56 is the average GI of mango. All right. So it's this just falls into the moderate GI zone. And you might ask me, GL is a more useful tool, as you told. What is the GL of it? The glycemic load of it? It is just 8. So most of the fruits fall into the low moderate GI. So as well as mango. Mango is in a very low GI, but only thing is it should be taken in portions. So mango is in fact a very good fruit. It's okay for you to have even though you're a diabetic, but if you have high HbA1cs, might as well more than 8 or 9, I would suggest you to have very rarely, once in 2 weeks or once in a week or something like that. And when you're having we tend to have more portions at once, so that shouldn't be done. That's it. So portion control is very important to make mango your friend. You have to have just one mango in one sitting per day. And when do you have? There is one trick I would like to share with any diabetic or pre-diabetic wanting to have mangoes. So when you have a mango, immediately after 15 to 20 minutes of having mango, just go for a walk, or go for your sessions, gym sessions, or do some skipping or jumping jacks just for 5-10 minutes, or climb stairs. If you don't have access to any of them, it's still okay. Just climb stairs, all right, or walk. So these are very simple things. Walk for 30 minutes or so, or climb stairs for 2 to 3 minutes. This will in fact reduce the sugar spikes caused by mango. And in fact, if you combine it with the protein source, if be it milk, be it egg, be it cheese, or any other high protein source, it would be much better, because as you include protein with mango, it decreases the sugar spikes caused by mango. So even you can, in fact, club it with even your nuts and seeds as well. It's very good that you combine it with nuts and seeds and have. As I told you, nuts and seeds with mango helps in sustained release of sugar. So it doesn't, if you just eat mango alone, probably it might cause a spike. But if you're eating with something of a protein source or a nut source, it definitely helps in sustained sugars. And definitely, as I told you, have just do good amount of walking, or hit the gym, or any of the skipping or climbing stairs will always work. It helps in reducing the sugars. It's not that it's going to reduce your sugars further. It's just going to decrease the spike from 10-20 points. So that is the case. So, and definitely it's very important that you can't have 5-6 mangoes and expect your sugar levels to go low with these activities. You need to have just one fruit. And definitely people more with HbA1c more than 8, I would suggest you to have weekly once or weekly twice until you get your sugars into a controlled range. But if you have, definitely try out working out more, or drink good amount of water, so that your sugars are flushed out from your body. So suppose you ended up eating a little more, which shouldn't be the ideal case. You need to have good amount of water, so that all the sugars in the blood is flushed out. So these are just going to decrease your sugars by 10-20 points. These are not going to decrease your sugars further. So that is very important point to note. So as I was talking about mangoes, everybody, when we talk about mangoes, everybody thinks about the ripe mango. What about the raw mango? And one very interesting aspect of mango leaves. Mango leaves also helps in reducing sugar. Let's cover that in the for future topic. 1 minute. Yeah, raw mangoes. Raw mangoes are also equivalently good, and probably your healthcare professional might tell raw mangoes are okay. In fact, raw mangoes are okay, and they have a little bit lower carbohydrate consistency. As you see, it's 17 grams with 17 grams with just the ripe mangoes, and with raw mangoes it's 15 grams. So you don't need to control your portions, but even though you shouldn't exceed your portions as well. Whenever your dietitian or healthcare professional tells go ahead and have raw mango, it doesn't mean that you have like 3-4 raw mangoes, or you have more pieces of it. Even here you just need to restrict a little bit, but it's okay to it's okay to have more mangoes, more portion of mangoes, rather than just restricting to one mango. You can have more portions as well. So that is one thing. And raw mangoes are very importantly rich in fiber compared to the its ripe counterpart, and it has good amount of vitamin C, and it also helps in maintaining the sugar levels, but not increasing it. It tends to increase a little bit, but it maintains moreover. All right, so you can have mangoes included in your diet, raw mangoes, but just mind you that the portion shouldn't go high. It's not that you can eat like two, three of them together. Just control your portions, but you can have more times in the day. Probably, if I have to ask you to have just ripe mangoes, I would ask you to have once in a day. Raw mango can be eaten in the morning, afternoon, evening, three times also with portions just category, I mean, put apart. So that is still okay. All right. So raw mangoes is okay. And let's go to the next interesting thing, mango leaves. So people actually has today is very ironically Yugadi, and most of us usually decorate our house fronts with mango leaves. So mango leaves, in fact, is very good with reducing sugar levels. In fact, there are much studies needed to be done under that. Under this topic. So it's it has anti-inflammatory effects, and it's not about just diabetes. It helps in reducing the cancer risk as well. So how do I consume mango leaves? So in certain communities, mango leaves are cooked and eaten in form of sambars or something. In The best way to have is just take fresh 10 to 15 leaves of mango and boil it in water and drink the water. And it's very important that you soak the mango leaves overnight in water, and the same water should be boiled. All right, and you can boil this and you can drink the mango water. It in fact helps in reducing or normalizing the sugars. All right, so this is it is really good to even include all parts of mango leaf also is very importantly good in diabetes control. So next time if you have mango leaves in house, probably you can try out boiling them and having a tea out of mango. Or even if you want to preserve it, yeah, you can tell mangoes are just there for a few months, what should I do? You can just dry them in shade. You can't sun dry them, you have to dry them in shade so that their nutrients are not lost. And you can make a powder of it and store it for the entire year and add it into lukewarm water or boiled water and make a cup of tea and have it. It's really good, in fact. All right. So that's about the major chunk of fruits and diabetes. Any questions regarding mangoes can come now. So as I told, many people ask me, can I eat mangoes and all that? So hope your questions are answered. So any other questions regarding mangoes or anything which I spoke in the entire presentation, you can ask me now. So yeah. So can I eat mangoes with milk? Yes, in fact, you can go ahead and have mangoes with milk. Probably I would suggest you to have it with skim milk so that your fat percentage doesn't increase and you just get in more of proteins and calcium. So that is the case. And any other questions about mangoes, you can shoot it right away so that I can answer it. And while we are at the questions, just telling you again, we have this new pack which has started. So definitely you can any doubts are there with this new pack, any questions, just drop it in the comment section. My colleagues will take care of it and answer it for you. All right. Does mangoes reverse diabetes? In fact, that's a very good question. So I in fact had seen this YouTube video, one of the YouTube videos telling that have 3 mangoes a day and your diabetes will get reversed. So that is in fact so untrue, that mangoes don't have the capability of reducing your sugars. It has good amount of fructose, so it can't might as well reverse diabetes. Mangoes have good qualities and good nutrition, but it's not that we can reduce we can have mangoes and reverse diabetes. If that was the case, I think we wouldn't even have medications for reducing or reversing diabetes, or we would have all this diet and exercise concept. So mangoes doesn't reverse, but it is good that you have include mangoes into your diet. So that's the case. What quantity of mangoes can I take for HbA1c 7? So if you're having a HbA1c of 7, that is a well controlled HbA1c, might as well, I can tell, for a diabetic. So you can have at least, one mango per day, or at least weekly, twice or thrice. But do not forget to walk or climb stairs or do skipping or any sorts of activities after eating it, so that it's better to do that, so that it decreases your spike. Even though you can't do the activities, it's fine, you're not a person who can probably do activities, probably drink good amount of water after it. If you drink good amount of water, it flushes out the sugar levels. All right. So my mother with HbA1c 11.9. So all fruits you suggest have, okay, what all fruits I could suggest? So 11.9, I would just ask her to take, if she has any other, medical condition like BP, thyroid, or high cholesterol levels, I would suggest her to just go with citrus fruits or kiwi or something like that. Citrus fruits like orange, lime, sweet lime, as well as, kiwi. So that would be the only fruits I would suggest her to have, and she can have weekly 4 to 5 times fruits. So mango is definitely a no go for her. So until her HbA1c comes below 10 or at least 9, it would be much better she sticks on to these kind of fruits. All right. So HbA1c is 9, fasting is 70 to 75. Which fruit should be taken before sleep? So your HbA1c is 9. So definitely your fasting is a little bit low. What fruits can be taken probably is, you can take something like pomegranates if it's available, guava or something like that. If none of them are available, you can even take a piece of 2 pieces of apple, along with a little bit of pista. If you're looking for a weight loss, I would suggest you to have pista. If you're okay, your weight is well maintained, almonds or walnuts are also okay. But I think apple would be the best. I wouldn't suggest banana, because your fasting is a little bit low. Probably your sugars might have been increasing in the night. So I need to have a conversation. But as of what I'm trying to tell is, you can have something like apple or guava, pomegranate, just 2 slices of them, 2 pieces of them, along with walnuts or almonds, depending on whether you want to lose weight or gain weight. So that's the case. How about raw jackfruit? A very good question for to bring up. So raw jackfruits are in fact not causing any problem for increasing or spiking up diabetes, but raw jackfruit is in fact very nutritious. So you can have raw jackfruit in form of palya or sabji or any sorts. So raw jackfruit is really a good inclusion into your diet. I definitely recommend you to have raw jackfruits, and there is, raw jackfruit powder also available, which is, helps in decreasing the sugars. But definitely, raw jackfruit doesn't cause any problem to the sugar level, so it is a go from my side. All right. What about the Can I have muskmelon? All right. Muskmelon, again, it should just be taken like 1 or 2 slices, not more of them. So all the melon family, in fact, kind of increases the sugar levels, which it's in a little bit in a high GI place. So that's why I would want you to have muskmelon in a very, 1 or 2 pieces. That's it. I would want you to have. So all right. So this is a question which I answered already. If whole fruit or juicing of fruits. So whole fruit is always better. The fibers are intact, and even the sugars are intact along with fibers. So definitely juicing of fruit is not ideal. If you want to have some juices, definitely go for vegetable juices, but fruit juices are not ideal. Even though you tell that I don't add sugar to it, and I don't add jaggery to it, or I don't add honey to it, it's fine. But anyway, fruits have sugar that will become more available when you juice them out, and you lose on a very important part of fruit, that is the fiber. The fiber breaks. Even though you squeeze it, you don't put it in a blender, it's one and the same. All right. So that is the case. And difference between sweet lime and orange. Sweet lime and orange are one and the same. They share the same one and the same, as in they belong to the same family. They share almost the same nutrition value. They are very good in vitamin C and very good in fiber. So there is no difference as such, than apart from they're just from the same family. All right. So, do we gain weight with walnuts? You don't gain exactly weight with walnuts. It's a very good fact, in fact, but you can eat walnuts during the day rather than night. So that was what my suggestion was to the earlier client. So you can eat walnuts in the day. It doesn't allow you to gain weight, but definitely it contains a good amount of calories. If you're on a weight loss regime, definitely talk to your healthcare professional on how to include walnuts. Okay, if you have cholesterol levels or cholesterol issues high, so you need to have walnuts in your diet. It's very important. All right. How about ripe jackfruit? So as I earlier answered this, ripe jackfruits should be taken in a good portion, like just 4 5 of them, depending on your sugar levels. All right. uh, Okay, is jackfruit sabzi fine? It's normally shallow fried. Yes, jackfruit sabzis are totally fine. In fact, jackfruit sabzis are good. And shallow fry, definitely, probably you can add a little bit of olive oil and cook it in a very low flame, if possible. Otherwise, definitely you can make a sambar out of it and have as well. However, it's possible for you, it's okay. So, what about peanuts? Peanuts is also a very good source of protein, equivalently a good source of fat. So, if you're having cholesterol issues, I would definitely ask you to take less of peanuts rather than increasing the portions of it. And definitely do not exceed a handful of peanuts always. Do not have overeat peanuts. All right. So, I drink carrot, beetroot, and amla juice. Is it okay? So carrot, beetroot, and amla juice is still fine, but rather than that, why don't you have one of these? I understand that you want to have carrots and beetroots together, but why not have just carrots once and a beetroot once? Though carrots and beetroots are known to have high sugar spikes, it's better to have carrots at a different time and beetroots at a different time. But in fact, if you can have those vegetables, like as I told, I mean, I'm not covered vegetables here, but carrots, beetroots, potatoes are most commonly known to increase the sugar levels. So probably you can have juices once in a while, the juices of carrots and beetroots, in fact. All right. So probably you can have once in a while. In fact, carrot juices are good and beetroot juices are good to for cleansing your liver and detoxifying your liver, but that doesn't mean you can take them on a daily basis. You can take them once in a while, and you can include carrots in your diet in form of cut carrots rather than making a juice out of it. Okay, so that would be more better. What about Brazil nuts? Brazil nuts are also, in fact, very good. You can include them in your diet. It doesn't increase the sugar levels. It maintains the sugar levels. Good vitamin E content is present in Brazilian nuts, so definitely a good go for it. If you have any cholesterol issues or any BP issues, it's very good for you to have Brazilian nuts. But in fact, if you don't have an access to Brazilian nuts, it's okay. Why? Because you can have whatever nuts is grown in India itself. There is no issues. All right. And then 1 minute. Yeah. So which apart from that, which all dry fruits? Okay, if your mother has HbA1c of more than 11.9, I would suggest you not to include dry fruits in your mother's diet. Why? Because dry fruits will in fact increase the sugar levels, until and only if she has low hemoglobin levels. I would suggest then. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest at all. All right. So that is one thing. And HbA1c is 6.5. Which fruits are good to avoid? So if your HbA1c is 6.5, I would suggest you can have any fruit, but just have a controlled portions on mangoes and papaya and watermelon, bananas, all of them controlled portion. Probably controlled portion, as I'm telling you, is just weekly, once or twice of these sweet fruits, even chiku for that case, sweet fruits. So rest of the fruits you can have one fruit or two fruits per day as well. All right. So how to improve HDL with fruits. So one fruit is very good for you improving your HDL levels is avocado. In fact, it's very good for sugars as well. So you can include avocado, at least half an avocado on a daily basis, mixed with nuts or seeds. So that will improve your HDL levels. And in fact, the seeds which you can take is flax seeds and walnuts, or you can even put a little bit of olive oil into your fruit salad or vegetable salad to improve your HDL. All right. What about salted yellow chana? Yes, salted yellow chana is also good for diabetes. In fact, all the dal and chana groups, legume groups, lentils, everything is very good for diabetes. There is no issue with them. But it's not that you should you should have good amount of lentils or sprouts, because even those contain lentic carbohydrates which can increase the sugar levels. So for better understanding, do talk to your healthcare professional. All right. Bananas should be completely avoided or once in a while, which can, yeah, so you can have once in a while anything, even if I mean you are a diabetic, but only post 10 I would ask you to completely avoid banana. But if you have somewhere around 8 or 7 or something like that, definitely once in a week you can have banana, that's okay. All right. So that's one thing. Is it advisable to have rice daily for a pre-diabetic? So rice, it's a very general, it's another huge topic which I can cover for. So rice is actually, we mostly get the polished rice. So it's better if you can have unpolished rice like black, red, or brown rice. And daily, yes, you can have, there is no issues having dead rice or any type of rice, but just make sure they are unpolished. So you can have them on daily basis. If you are a pre-diabetic, it's okay. Dragon fruit is good for diabetic patients. Yes, dragon fruit is very good for diabetic patients, but there is no research. No research I can tell. There's a very few research articles telling that dragon fruit is very good, but there is no actual facts telling that dragon fruit is good. So whichever doesn't cause an increase in sugar levels, dragon fruit doesn't cause an increase in sugar level, you can have. There is no issues. But one thing, one golden rule is control your portions. Very importantly, control your portions. That is very important with fruits. All right. So that's the case. And yeah, fox nuts. What about fox nuts? Fox nuts also can be had. There are no issues. You can have them. That doesn't affect your sugar levels at all. So you can include fox nuts in your diet as well. All right. Is papaya okay? So as I told you, papaya falls in the high GI zone, wherein it means that when you have papaya, it can easily get into your blood sugar levels, the sugar in papaya. So what I want to tell you is have one or two slices maximum of these, two slices of it, so that you don't increase your sugar levels. All right. Can a diabetic have Horlicks or Boost? So I think you should answer the question. Horlicks and diabetes, Horlicks or Boost actually has sugars, added sugars, in fact, which increases the sugar levels. There are these sugar-free versions. It's very important that you read the nutrition label. Even though when they tell sugar-free, you should see whether, in the label, if they've added any sugar. There is something called added sugar and natural sugar. Natural sugar can't be taken out of any product. And if they tell sugar free, it doesn't mean that it's sugar free. It means that it has natural sugar. You should look out for that they haven't added sugar in form of anything like sucralose or dextrose or maltodextrose. These are the major foods, these are the major added sugars which you can see. So Horlicks and Boost, I would suggest you to look at the label and then then probably think about taking. But definitely, Horlicks Boost alone wouldn't be good enough. In the sugar-free versions, just read the label and then take them. That is what I would like to tell. All right. So, what about grapes? Grapes, yes, grapes you can take again a portion control. A half cup or 100 gram of grapes is more welcoming, and you can have it at one portion, like at one sitting probably. You can't actually increase the quantity of grapes at one sitting, and you can probably have once a day grapes rather than having it in morning and evening again. All right. What is the ideal fruit intake for diabetic patients? So there is no ideal as such. As I told you, 3 to 4 portions per day is apt, but definitely it depends on your medical condition as well as your sugar levels. So for a person with more than 10, I'm asking them to not have fruits or just have, citrus fruits. For a person who's 6.5, I just suggested them you can have fruits. So it depends on this. I mean, what is your HbA1c, and then only HbA1c and other medical conditions, and how is your lifestyle. All this is very dependent. So there is no ideal such, but as generally I can tell is 3 to 4 portions of fruits can be taken per day. So roughly you can calculate your palm size. Okay, so I'm actually asking this topic. Yeah, corn silk tea is good for diabetes. Okay, corn silk tea might not be ideal, but definitely you can have once in a while. There is no issue with that. But definitely, yeah, I think once in a while would be much more helpful than having it, on a daily basis. Okay, sugar-free chaman prash. Okay, chaman prash. Okay, sugar-free chaman prash is actually, as I told you, it's not sugar-free. It has natural added sugar, but you can go ahead and have sugar-free chaman prash. There is no issues with it. All right. So, quantity of mixed fruits such as mango, papaya, apple, grapes, and guava in single diet. Okay, so probably you can just have mango, apple, and grapes along with guavas. Mango and papaya can be a choice rather than added together, because both of them are in mango is in moderate, and this thing is in high GI, right? Papaya is in a little bit high GI. So I would definitely ask you to just combine low GI foods along with one moderate or high GI fruit. So that's how you need to make up your fruit salad. And definitely very important, add 1 or 2 teaspoons, or for starters, add at least 2 teaspoons of nuts and seeds into the fruit salad and then have. All right. What about ginger tea with milk? Ginger tea with milk is okay. There is no issues with the combination or combining them both. But definitely, if you want to have ginger tea alone, also it's fine. Either or combination is also okay. There is no issue popping up unless and until you have any gastric trouble because of combining ginger tea and milk. There is no problem. Okay, so that's the case. All right. So what about badam milk? So badam milk is good enough. It has, badam milk is the best to take in nights. So as I told you, badam has a component called melatonin, which helps in, increasing your sleep quality and quantity. So badam milk is very good in the nights. So yeah. All right. So that's a wrap from my side. So thank you so much for attending the session, and hope I've answered all your questions. And definitely, one last thing is, if there's anybody interested in the 3-month Kickstarter pack which I mentioned, definitely fill the form in the comment section. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.